I do believe we're alive. So I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Another moment for us to grow, for us to develop, for us to become ourselves instead of what we're supposed to be. Every single time I use the word supposed, add parentheses, supposed to. Yeah? People are going to tell you who you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to feel, how you're supposed to be reacting to things. Don't listen to them. You are supposed to feel. Period. It's nice to have you friends here. Thank you for joining me. Eternal blessings. Let me say hi to you friends. Duck Dad, right off the bat. Joy V here as well. Shannon sending loves. Jovan, so nice having you. Duck Dad says, you all helped me through a tough day yesterday. After I streamed, I had 8 orders waiting in my inbox. People were emailing me, telling how much better my plans performed last year. I'm not exactly sure if that's a good thing. I mean, getting emailed by people is good, but getting emailed by people telling me how much better my plans performed last year, as in your plans aren't performing well this year? Give me more context, Duck Dad. I have to stop pushing the supposed to be big and financially better off and realize that I'm really making an impact locally. Love you all, as we love you, Brother Bear. You are exactly where you are supposed to be right now in this moment. Right, I'm sorry. I had to go a little bit cliche. But I appreciate you friends for supposedly being exactly where you're supposed to be. Love you. I added my third round of drops to my water bottle again. Nancy sending you lovin's. Oh, it's Candace. Candace is here with us as well. Hey Candace, it's nice having you, dear friend. Sending you lovin's. How are you doing? How has things been? How are the kids? How are you adjusting? It's nice to see your name in the space, dear friend. Sending you lovin's. Candace, how are you? Been thinking of you, of course. So, husband got up this morning, says Sam, and went right to the store. And I've never had so much self control as I had this morning during yoga when he came home with a new video game, of course. Which game did you get? I'm curious, actually, Sam. I feel like it's beautifully apt. It's like, yeah, video games, but also yoga. I am so sophisticated, so balanced. So there's a word out there somewhere that is making me think. It's making me hunt for it right now. Scrolling through my neurons. Capable? Maybe capable is the one I'm looking for. Thank you for letting me bless this water with all of those energies as well, Sam. Sending you lovin's. I might be going into lurk mode. I have to get loading up of a big plant sale in the rain. Melt, it's totally a good thing. They mean my plants versus stork. Oh, there we go. Good, dude. Even better. You like video games, Sam. So that's good, right? I think so as well. I posted a giant peach tomato plant a customer sent me yesterday. It was from my plant last year. The thing was massive. Oh, of course. Because your plants of last year are probably still growing and they're still performing well, I'm guessing. That's fantastic, dude. Where's Christian? Christian is like doing a thing right now. I don't know what thing he's doing, but every single time, like he knows how important these streams are to me, and he knows with like how much visceral desperation I want him to be here with me. And then because of that, he just doesn't show up. Right? I don't know why. I guess he wants me to react a certain way, but I'm gonna be like Zen mode 5000 and stuff. He's not supposed to be here after all. It's nice having you friends here in this moment. He came home with a new Legend of Zelda installment, Tears of the Kingdom. Sounds sick. I haven't ever, not once, played a Legend of Zelda game. I've heard good things. I've seen all of the memes. I'm with it culturally, but I haven't had a personal experience with it. I never, our family never got into the Nintendo side of things. My dad bought me, supposedly, a PlayStation 1 when I was 6 months old, that my dad then proceeded to play a lot of games with. So my dad used to be a gamer. And then we got a PlayStation 2 when I was 7. Uh, and then I bought myself a PlayStation 3 when I was 15 with the cash I had saved up. But that was the last of it. PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 are in the ether now. Maybe I'll buy my kids a PlayStation 8 one day or something, freaking start the whole fractal over again or whatever. Christian is quietly grumbling in a corner. He's not even here. He's not even here. I do not even know where he is. Like, I unironically do not know where he is right now. He might be in his room taking a nap. He might be showering, taking a bath. He might be exercising, for all I know. All I know is that he's not here right now. I did take a microphone out and added a little fluffy cat to it. So if he does decide to come, at least I'll have a microphone ready for him. Been okay. Yesterday was one of my hardest days I've had. Got through it and I'm doing better. It's interesting you say that, Candace. I feel, this is personal bias and somewhat bias having seen what you friends have been going through as well. It seems a lot of us reached a certain point of criticality over the last week or so, where a bunch of emotions have started to bubble up. The parts of us that is deeply intrinsically exhausted might have come to the outside world. And now, having come into the outside world, there was a void left in our hearts that got filled with more light, more hope. So I'm sending you more love. I hope that you're feeling better still, Candace. Even better after today, and then better still tomorrow. And then better and better until we're the best. Candace, we were crying together, Duck Dad, also tuning in with that fractal. Today, I'm meeting a lady on becoming a personal trainer and starting a vlog on my adventures. Yeah. Slowly but surely. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be good. It just needs to be, all right? It's not supposed to be one way or another. I feel like that's so beautifully apt of today's stream topic, as we have become convinced by supposedly believing we're supposed to be one way instead of another. Hey Google, define supposed. Supposed, generally assumed or believed to be the case, but not necessarily so. Specifically the last one. People admire their supposed industriousness. Suppose, to think or to assume something is true or probable, but lack proof or certain knowledge. Suppose, to be required to do something because of the position one is in, or an agreement one has made. So many layers of supposed, right, that have been opposed onto us. Losing ourselves. I'm thinking about it from a perspective of these streams, for example, where I'm still kind of stuck with how it's supposed to be. Wanting it to be perfect, wanting the internet to be, stable all the time, wanting the lighting to be perfect. Technically this can be good lighting. I just need like a shield, supposedly wanting, technology that I can manipulate with my mind. Like, there's so many layers of stuff that we put in between us and our goals these days. Some of them can be, valid. I'm thinking about Duck Dad, for example, where Duck Dad wants to have a greenhouse, so that he can do his work in his greenhouse instead of having to do it in his basement and then lugging things up and down stairs, getting things to the outside greenhouse. Like that's missions, right? So in that case, the supposed things we need to kind of do our work does make sense. But in others, for instance, writing or becoming an artist or, you know, learning how to take photos, for example. You can take photos with a really bad cell phone camera. They won't be the best photos, but growing the act, growing the ability, growing the skill of actually being able to compose things, that doesn't go away no matter what tools we get. The sun is absolutely blasting my eyeballs right now. I wanted to put sunblock on this today, but I forgot. Now I'm regretting it. Please, sun, have some mercy on me. You're so bright, dude. You're so powerful, so strong, so far away, and yet so present in my life. I see you. Hey, Shell is here too. I'm here on 2 times catching up. Very interesting. Many of us are going through the peak emotional stuff at the same time. So interesting. It's almost like we're all aligned. I've had actually today, leading up to stream, I had a certain low hum anxiety where I was like, I was feeling some things as well. It's better now at least. I'm not feeling too stuck in my own head right now at least. Sam melts that playing video games is totally Hank Hill playing propane. Oh my goodness. There was a propane based game and propane based accessories. He doesn't seem to love being in stream for reasons which are his own. Yeah, I feel it causes him a certain level of self-consciousness. Hey, Kristen, sending your lovin's. It causes him a certain level of self-consciousness, which I believe is necessary. Like we do need to be supposedly self-conscious every now and then, right? To kind of come to terms with the reality of our being. For instance, yesterday, Christian was really stuck in his own mind, and he also stopped talking to this girl he was talking to. Well, technically, she decided to stop talking to him because things didn't feel right. I feel a disconnect. And then Christian was kind of, hurtful with me for a moment there, where I would try to share things with him. And he would say to me, please no. And then I mentioned yesterday that I feel like I'm having a hard time sharing things with him. And then you friends echoed that he does look like he's tired. And he mentioned to me that that's on his mind, the fact that I said that I feel like I can't share things with him, and the fact that you friends echoed that sentiment by saying that he looks tired right now. So again, right, being seen this way, it supposedly takes a mental toll on a person. Surprise, surprise. It does take a it does take a mental toll on a person, and I understand that. All right. I think of these moments as special. Like there will only be one day 862, right? And I do believe that we will look back on these moments, fondly. So I'll show his kids one day. Look, this is what your dad looked like in the year 2023. What's our intention for the day? We're not gonna write supposedly. Solid? Nah. Stable? Nah. Sure? Yeah. Yeah. No supposedly, only surety. I'm gonna go sure. Sure. Are you sure? Are you sure, dear friends? Not sure of what you're supposed to be, but sure of who you are. Sure. This word is melting my brain right now. Sure. And then we'll do the divine masculine. countered by the divine feminine. In the center, we'll do the Dega symbol, turning dark into light. And in this context, right, at least from my side, the masculine is being turned into the feminine. The masculine is seen as the darkness. And I've actually made this conclusion myself, where I believe the part from which I look, right, the part that is unchanged, is already dead, right? It's like it exists in a state of void, right? What we think of as death is where that place exists. Then we'll do knowledge. We'll do some knowledge. And then we'll do some... We'll do some change. I think this is the change rune. There we go. Skabao. Runes written. Let me see what your friends are saying. I audibly gasp at no Nintendo. Yeah. No Nintendo. No Mario Kart. No Donkey Kong. No Mario games. None whatsoever. My whole life. It is a little bit of a shock. Just like a little bit. Mercury retrograde ends Sunday/Monday on Mother's Day. How about that? How beautiful. I agree. I haven't even gone into the wacky intense stuff that happened the past couple of weeks. We love you, Nanshi. You know that this space is a place where you can unburden yourself, melt away, if you will, all of the things that you feel might be wacky and heavy. But we will support you, even in silence, right? Even if we don't know the difficulties you're going through, we'll show up for you. You are loved. Candace, you should lean into the baking side and the hardcore personal trainer, and then do one of those transition shots that's so popular and go, time to treat myself, biting into a giant slice of cake. Views on views. Yeah, people would so click on that shit, isn't it? SDR, no Nintendo, no Nintendo, no Nintendo. Yeah, PlayStation. We played some Wii. My cousin had a Wii, so sometimes when we would go and visit him, there would be some Wii being played. But then we would play Wii Sports, or they had this Wii game where there was a bunch of mini games built into it. You could bowl and you could ride little tanks. You could shoot ducks, shoot little balloons as they were floating. It's good fun. But I didn't have any exposure to the Nintendo side of the world, unfortunately. There's a void in my being. A fractal you friends have that I do not get to share now, right now. There's some wind, but if the internal intention is going to be sure, the external intention will be clarity. Clarity. To be clear, to be crystal clear about what you are. Not to get all muddied by being told what you're supposed to be, right? It like seriously, I'm unironically being very serious right now. It makes me viscerally angry when someone approaches me with a "you're supposed to this, and that." This is how you're supposed to be. This is who you're supposed to be, they say to me. I don't know why, but that energy doesn't sit well with me. The quote that kind of comes along with that understanding right now in this moment is, never let someone tell you how to live your life if they have smaller dreams for your life than you do. Right? Don't listen to what someone tells you you're supposed to be if what they suppose you should be is smaller than the reality you know is your being. Right? You're not supposed to be anything. Sam beautifully shared in the yoga that human beings aren't supposed to be on top of the food chain, but we have firmly put ourselves there. All right? Like we are technically, when you look at our animal kingdom, we're pretty weak. If you put a person in a cage of a bear, I'm sorry, person. I'm so sorry. I'm so. Oh, got this bear, please. Oh, I'm sorry. I did that to all of us, right? But people have kind of supposed ourselves into this state of being we are in right now. So there is some value in supposing, right? There's clearly some value in supposing. It's just a matter of how we're supposing at this point, right? What we're supposing of ourselves. Louisiana's your two, sending you love. Does that mean I'll stop being so emotional? Maybe. Maybe, Duck Dad. Maybe you'll be twice as emotional, dude. Who knows with the astrologies, bro? Like at this point, I'm just happy to be. Not supposed to be one way or another, just beingness. I did melt. Son, please, son, stop, boys. Yesterday it was 95. Fire my razor. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with me, Duck Dad. It makes me happy. I'll post the thinger from my moon tracking app in Discord. Duck, please do. Thank you for sharing. All right, beautiful humans, I'm going straight out into the rain for the next few hours. I'm going to lurk as to not ruin my device. I will sell many plants in your honor. Feed people. Feeding people, feeding people. People feeding people, feeding people. Feeding people, feeding people. Oh, man, my mind feels lighter. Lighter, but also disconnected, right? Like I feel like I'm not as stuck in my body's viscerality, my willingness to react to things. But at the same time, it's almost like because I'm not in that state of reaction, I'm almost like in a state of dissociation where I'm like, huh, oh yes, being a person and sitting on a cushion and breathing air, and I have a cup of water, and there's a sun shining next to me, and there's birds chirping, and there's a Zano in the space with me right now. I'm sorry, Zano. I'm spacing out, kind of going through a moment of tripping out about the fact of our reality right now. Right? Supposedly, I'm a human being. People keep telling me. It's like, okay. You say so, dude. Surely I'm gonna have to start believing them at some point. To infinity and beyond, Doug, Nancy, thank you for echoing even more love. Thanks, Candace. Going to be a good one today at a local microgreens company with the same values as me. Tomorrow's huge Mother's Day sale. Yeah, more. For me, says Shell, yesterday was the day I had to follow up with my boss on the complaint about my hostile coworker who was deliberately killing my work. 1 gram of golden teachers sent a letter, call to talk. I love myself. Yeah, you got them rolling papers. Yeah, yes, we do. Got some rolling papers as well. Yeah, just I wanna like get stuck on Shell's accomplishment today. Just like the last words. The last words is the thing. I love myself. That makes me happy just to hear someone say that. I love myself. Try it. I love myself. This self that I identify with, that I supposedly am, I love it. Because clearly I keep coming back for it, right? For me, it's been this weird trip of waking up every single day, right? How the hell do I keep waking up as myself? I don't know if that's a weird question to ask or if I'm not supposed to, but it really is something that fascinates me endlessly, right? I go to sleep, I disappear from this realm of existence. I go and live 1,000 lifetimes. Yesterday's, it's all muddled in my brain. But I go somewhere else, clearly. We go somewhere else. We exist in a different realm, different rules, different experiences to be had. And then we come back, right? Having experienced the everything, having had access to everything, we come back to this life. Why do you suppose that is? Why do you suppose that is? I'm gonna have to smoke this joint alone. I guess so. Yay! Lucky me! I don't actually like smoking joints alone. I'm not even gonna be able to smoke all of it, you know. Christian is supposed to be here right now, the ego says. Speaking of us going through hard emotional times, I was in the dentist appointment with my kids, and the guy with his son came in and complimented me on how well behaved my girls were. His smile and his eyes were pure astonishment that 5 kids were so well behaved. He asked me, "How do you do it?" I couldn't reply because I didn't raise them alone. I had my husband, now he's gone. I simply said, "I'm barely doing it," then explained that their dad passed away in January. So I'm just starting my adventure as a single mom. I am to keep trying to do my best, and it's scary. I still have my wedding ring on, plus his next to mine. In the eyes of the law, I am no longer married, but when you make the choice, you make a deeper commitment with your soul. I still see myself as being married, just temporarily separated on the physical plane. Yo, that message is making me feel a lot of things, a lot of beautiful things. I would like to preface what I'm going to say, right? Beautiful in the context of loyalty, beautiful in the context of your being, Candace, beautiful in the context of your kids, realizing what is expected of them, how they are, here it comes, supposed to be, right? Supposed to be. I'm sure they're being strong for you as well right now, dear friend. And then, having felt all of these things, I would like to believe you are still worthy of love, Candace, right? I would like to believe that. I would like to believe that there is still someone out there who could potentially take care of you in so many words, right? Help take care of the kids, help support you in this process. But it's not for me to say, right? Because again, that's the whole thing. That's this thing about supposed, right? Oh, you're supposed to be with someone to help you raise your kids. Oh, you're not supposed to be doing it alone. How are you supposed to have a job and raise kids at the same time? And then it's gonna you are, Candace. You are strong, you are beautiful, and we appreciate your effort and your time. Those kids are going to be superheroes with everything that they've had to go through. Shell, I complain about my coworkers all the time, but he tells me to fuck off. Yeah. Yeah, mine too, Duck Dad. My coworker is getting better. He's getting better. But he's still pretty lazy sometimes. I don't know if today is one of those days. Today is one of those days where it seems to be easy to distract myself. Like my head is a little kid running from one thing to another. And I'm trying to coerce him into being in this moment. You are supposed to chillax, I say to my own mind. I keep thinking of the scene from The Simpsons where Bart tells his new teacher, "I'm supposed to be in 4th grade." And she says, "Sounds like someone has got a case of the supposed us. Supposed us. Yes. How about that? I haven't actually seen that scene myself, but that's exactly how it is right now, though, Azana. I'm happy that you're feeling more synchrony. Viking Queen, I imagine you as being strong all the time for your babies. I hope you let it out and get loving attention from us. It's good to see you here. Thank you for echoing that sentiment, Shell. Absolutely. Maybe if you put a baby in the bear cage, they will cuddle. Yeah, Queful, I agree, dude. Let's not put babies in bear cages. just for now. But I mean, technically, there is something about baby animals that other animals kind of like take to, right? Like there's a certain level of cute. Animals can see something and be like, oh, this thing needs to be protected. Look at how cute it is. And then we are supposed to grow up and become an ugly adult man. I want to be a baby. I want people to look at me and go, "Are you ugly? Are you?" I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm lying, right? I say that that's what I supposedly want, but if I got it, I'd be like, "You stop that, stop doing that right now." Mm. Mm. Maybe shall every time I come here, I get the love I need, and you will always, forever, Candace. I imagine 44 years from now, right? Maybe today is the last day you come back into the space, and then you go 44 years without coming back. And then 44 years later, you're like back in the space and just exact the amount, same love, you love, 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 love. The new remedies are working their magic, Mel. They are. They kicked my ass for a bit. Yassi, Shan. They like mangled me a little bit. Like I was having a hard time, straight up. I was like struggling a little bit. And I was like, well, Shan did kind of tell me that this is probably gonna happen. And I showed up for it. Mm. But notice penis envy shrooms. Yeah, penis envy shrooms can be intense. They contain apparently twice the amount of psilocybin content per weight than normal mushrooms. So people, I've heard some hectic stories where people try taking large doses, which would be a large dose for normal mushrooms, and it ends up being penis envy mushrooms, and then they get supposedly mangled, completely rolled by it. They still come back, and they're still fine on the other side. It's usually just more than we expect. Oh, that's okay. Tripping is cool. It is. I don't think I'm tripping right now, though. Like, I did think about taking a microdose of mushrooms today, but I ended up not. I didn't even drink coffee. I didn't even drink coffee. I am smoking a joint, though, so I guess that doesn't count. Yeah. I was like shocked for a second when I realized it didn't even cross my mind that I wanted to drink a coffee. And I was like, guess I'll go and stream without drinking coffee. I tend to be a very habitual person. I'm trying to add a supposed into this sentence somewhere. Apparently, I'm supposed to drink a coffee every day before I do my streams because that's how I do it. Around 3 to 3:15, I make myself a coffee. I take a few sips of it. I meditate. Then I shower. After I shower, I do yoga. After I do yoga, my coffee is cold enough to drink, and I drink my coffee, then I come stream. And that's pretty much been the pattern every day for months. I had a little bit of an interruption during the adventure with Adam, but that's I enjoy being in a pattern, I guess. And I'm trying to think if there is if the energy of supposed, right, is attached to that way of being. And it feels that way. It does feel that way, where there is this part of my mind that would say, I was supposed to drink my coffee before streaming, right? Supposed to. And it really is interesting to me how, with something, especially with the definition, let's read it again. Hey, Google, define supposed to, or just supposed. So, again, generally assumed or believed to be the case, but not necessarily so. It's the generally assumed or believed to be the case part that we get stuck on. But we don't consider that it is not necessarily so, right? I'm not any less for not having drank coffee. I'm not less capable of being myself, if you will. But if I got stuck in this layer of supposed, I would be, right? We can generally assume or believe to be the case that we are less, less worthy, less capable if we go without something than we actually are, right? Almost like capping ourselves, taking our own power away with supposed. Good one. What am I supposed to do? Right? Huh, Evers? What am I supposed to do? Walks right past me. Doesn't even stop for a second. How am I supposed to feel about that? I ask myself. Generally assume. Okay, let's go back to the comments. Past 4 years, I've lost a baby, lost a husband, and I want to show others it's not the end. You matter, and you can do it. Love is not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. Love will show you how much you can endure. And if you are not a proof of love, Candace, I really don't know what is. Loving enough to continue raising 5 little girls, well, 4 girls and a little boy on your own. Okay, I have a hard time raising myself. I still consider myself a child actively being like, no, no, you can't do that. Because I believe that I'm gonna be a child until I'm in my 30s. Like your first 20 years is where you basically grow up into an adult body. But just because you're in an adult body doesn't mean you have an adult brain and an adult understanding of the world. Then I believe your brain catches up to the fact of the reality that you are now an adult and you can make adult decisions and experience adult consequences for the adult decisions that you make. And I'm in that state of my life right now where I'm like, I get to make decisions, I get to make choices, and then I pay the consequences for those choices, supposedly, right? And now I'm trying to teach myself how to do that well. Now I'm trying to imagine the amount of work that has been in my life, and I'm imagining there being 5 extensions of that. Only they're even younger than me. They understand even less than me about what's right and wrong, about what choices are good and what choices are bad, about how consequences work. Oh goodness, you're strong. You are strong. Gonna trip myself out. We love you, Candace. Keep going. Thank you for inspiring all of us. I really just started feeling the self love, and it's pretty sexy to be honest. I feel like it's like the feeling. I made the choice to complain because I felt self love. It was weird for me. I'm getting addicted, yeah. Get addicted to loving yourself. I feel like this is like making me so happy, Shell, because in large part this is what we've been talking about, right? The the melting more of the layers of supposed, right? Oh, I'm not supposed to say anything about my colleague that makes my life a living hell because because they got huh? Right? And now this self-love that you're starting to cultivate again is a bandwidth thing, right? The more bandwidth you grow in being able to love yourself, the better you get at it. And you're like, bandwidth, you're missing me. For instance, I can put my arm around your shoulder, be like, you're a great person, right? Take your head, push yours against mine, tell you, I love you, and then let go, right? Sure, you can think about that moment again and experience love from it. But if you had to quantify all of the love that was given, the physical touch, the gesture, the, oh, it's my mom, the words that was said, it would be a finite amount of love that was given. But the love you can give yourself, right? The level of self-respect, the washing of your own hair, the brushing of your own teeth, the taking care of your own skin, the eating well of the food you eat, right? That level of self-love is a bandwidth thing. And the more you almost lean into the small things, right? Like standing up for yourself, being willing to not take someone's supposed, right? It's like, wait a second. I'm supposed to do what now? And then feeling, right? Is this supposed to thing making me feel loving, making me feel like I am loved, making me feel like I'm given more capacity to love? And if the answer is no, then there's room to grow. Let me just say it that way. So I figure out that the mushrooms I took last month, they were called Trinity. It's a cross of blue meanies, golden teachers, and Venus envy. I know about blue meanies, golden teachers, and Venus envy independently. I didn't know they were crossable. Technically, all of them are psilocybe species. So, yes. How about that? Are they beautiful? That's the thing my mind goes to. I'm imagining what the fruiting bodies look like. Mushrooms are beautiful things. They have quite some energy to them. The way they occupy space, the way they grow, some of the shapes. They straight up look fairy tale-esque these days of what people are capable of with like you see Peppy. Peppy was growing, digging in the mud again. Her feet are so dirty. The cushion doesn't seem to be ruined. Mm-mm-mm. I prefer to smoke my joints alone. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Right? I shall not suppose onto your smoking of a joint alone, dear Joy V. We love you. I know, I say it every time I see you, but I love and admire you in the deepest form of those words, says Jovan to our beloved Viking Queen. You're such an inspiration of a beautiful soul. Beautiful, I feel absolutely, but strength, right? This the strength of your soul is the thing that's the inspiration for me. Like I honestly don't believe I'm as strong as you are right now, Candace. Like I haven't even gotten close to the level of suffering, and yet you continue to remain loving. Like that is, it gives me hope, you know, for all of humanity. Knowing that those kitties of yours get to grow up with a mom like that. For Julia Queen and Sue. I don't know if she's sipping to me. Yeah. Honey, my cult leader told me to put the baby in the bear cage. Can't do stuff like that. Brain over here trying to come up with the most efficient way to latch onto a bear in a bear hug in a way that none of his limbs can reach me until someone can let me out of the cage. Oh goodness, I love that. Probably would die in a bear hug clutch. I would just like get on top of that bear's back, you know, like get him into like a chokehold and just hold on for dear life. It's like a Yabulto. That would be so terrifying. It can be rough, but you did, Mel. So freaking proud of you. Love you, Shan. As I told you, I am a willing participant. If I'm anything, I'm not scared, especially to go through the depth of my own nonsense. Doug, that's how I share with my therapist. This one time I called it that. This one time if I called it that cat. Can you just say, even sweating my butt off in a raincoat covered with dirt, but looking at all of these healthy plants about to get a new home. This is where I'm meant to. I will grow larger, yes. And dude, like the thing that's cool for me as well, Duck Dad, the fact that you maybe not don't want employees, maybe within like the next 5 years, we'll have suits, dude. You'll have like suits that attaches to your body that basically turns all of the things you carry into like paperweights. Well, paperweights can be heavy into things that weigh as much as paper. Right? Like it's going to be a matter of time and you're on a good trajectory. I feel, in fact, and this is the part of me that I don't know is necessarily healthy, But there's a part of me that does believe that suffering especially during these times, right? Supposedly right now, right? And I believe that from our future to these moments and consider ourselves extremes, right? And being able to savages, right, survive the depth of our pain, the depth of our discomfort, the depth of our confusion, the depth of our misunderstanding of our place in the whole. Melita, sending you lovin's dear friend. And then be able to know, right, that we were actually strong enough to get through it. Like I feel it's going to make us exponentially stronger in the future we'll find ourselves in, right? Like it's gonna be great for the individuals that get born in the techno utopic future. It's gonna be great for them. They're gonna be like, shit, things are great always. But because things weren't great always during the time we grew up and the time we developed, we're going to be strong. We're going to be capable in ways that we could only be if we did it, right? We can't suppose ourselves into it. We have to be it. You have to be the creme de la creme of yourself. Mm-mm-mm. If we're not supposed to be at the top of the food chain, who slash what is no other creature have our big brains and opposable thumbs? So, Joy Vive, it's just a matter of, when it comes to things eating things, we would be one of the things that get eaten first, right? We're not particularly fast. We're not particularly well armed, right? I can scratch at you and bite you with my face, but I can't even. I can bite like that much of you, right? That's not a lot. That's not a lot. Crocodiles and bears could like encapsulate an entire arm and munch it off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What I'm saying is like when it comes to danger, right? And if we're locked in a box with all of us were extremely hungry animals. The human being wouldn't be the last animal standing, right? Not as it is. Fortunately, we have this ability as human beings to think for ourselves and then manufacture tools from our realm, work together through communication. And that's where our power lies, right? In collaboration, both with one another and with our world, right? Instead of just seeing ourselves as an independent killing machine, right? It's a layer of integration, right, to your reality, becoming a part of it, making it a part of yourself. And I feel that's why we won in this round. It's why we're the apex predators as human beings. Candace, my heart aches for you. My grandma lost her husband when my mom was 6. You are the strongest type of mom, the ultimum. Yeah, suddenly there's a comic book character in my head, ultimum. Mm-mm. That makes me smile so much. Wolves, maybe, they're the top apex predator, Joy. Yeah, a pack of wolves is also a very dangerous collective entity. Also, words, love you. I was absolutely erect on like 2 grams. Yeah, you would be. 2 grams of anything that has penis envy strain DNA is going to probably be powerful. So we're pretty lucky to know you. Duck Dad says I'm 100% not as strong as I have one child, and I'm not terrified of losing my wife. Nani? I am 100% not as strong, saying to Candace, as I have one child, and I'm not terrified of losing my wife because but I have no idea how I could explain to the little one the loss that the person that she loved the most. Being strong enough to be able to take the questions that your kids will ask you. Like I can't imagine. They're not as smart as us though. Yeah, if given time, if given opportunity to plan, if given tools to defend ourselves, human beings are pretty versatile. But, naked human versus naked wolf, I think the wolf is gonna kick your ass as well, unfortunately. I'm not trying to make you sad, Candace. I know your brain will do that for you. but you were seriously amazing in my eyes. Words echoing the love, Brother Bear. Bro, I'm not lying to you when I say if someone offered me one of those suits tomorrow, but I had to cut off my legs, I'll get my pocket knife out and I start myself. At a 38-year-old, the body recovery and energy loss is something I didn't think I'd see until 50. And you're not less for it, Brother Bear. You are occupying biology. And as it is right now, our DNA makes mistakes. So we facilitate with technology, right? Like my phone probably already remembers more about me than I do about myself. I have, like, for instance, I was looking today, 91 journal entries where it's between 1 and 2 full pages of written information about what I was going through in that moment, what I'm proud of myself for in that moment, what I'm not proud of myself for, what I'm trying to melt away. And then ultimately how all of these things are collaborating, contributing to the person I'm becoming. And I know I wrote all of those things, but I'd be damned if I had to try and recall word for word anything I said. Things I said today, even. Never mind, things I said 91 days ago. So yeah, we're heading into interesting times where our computers are at least partially going to disappear again. Not disappear as in they won't be used, but maybe in they won't be seen. We won't have to see your computers. They will be integrated. Part of your clothing, part of your body. Having cyber limbs doesn't sound like a bad thing to me. I wouldn't want to lose my limbs. I would like to have like little nanobots supporting every single one of my muscle fibers, adding just like an extra little tensile strength. Apply electric current to it and they contract a little bit. Now suddenly we can lift cars with our human bodies. I mean, I did grow up with the internet and very much so have a deep fascination with the archetype that is the superhero, the supermensch, the warrior. All right, I just feel we're here to be warriors for light, not so much warriors in physical strength, in combative attributes, but warriors in our ability to stay loving, right? Our battle, kind of like going to the biblical context, ons stryd is nie teen die vlees nie, maar teen die bose geeste in die lig. A line from the Bible that goes, our fight, our battle isn't against the flesh, but against the evil spirits in the air. And I feel that is, again, language of a time. I like to call them demons as well, to be honest, because it creates a visceral perspective. I consider a demon a thought pattern. It's basically a thought pattern in my mind, because we're capable within infinity of all beings, of all thought patterns, of all modes of existence. And then if you feel yourself occupying, even for a moment, a thought pattern that is less than loving, in that moment it can feel like you're fighting demons, right? It can feel like you're actually fighting demons. But then in realizing you aren't this thing you're fighting, just because you think a thought doesn't mean you're a horrible person or that is now indicative of your whole character. It just means you had this thought and you can feel what that thought makes you feel and you can let it pass. And then we get stuck. We're like, what is this supposed to mean? What is this supposed to mean? Over and over again, bringing the thought up in our minds. I explain to my kids, Papi, waarvoor blaf jy, woef? Liefie woefters, nee. Stop het nou. Stop it. Stop it. Christian has a good point or a good suggestion, supposedly, right? Where he says that when the dogs just randomly bark at, in our minds, supposedly nothing, they're barking the demons away, keeping evil spirits at bay. So maybe Pippi is doing more than I know. I explained to my kids that their dad isn't gone, that his meat suit is gone, but he is with us every day. We say thank you to him for the sunrise, the beautiful sky, and we say hello to every hawk. Hawks were his favorite bird. Unfortunately, one took off with one of our chicks the other day, and the girls ran after it, yelling, "Drop it, Daddy!" Oh, goodness. They came back to the house defeated and said, "Well, guess Daddy was hungry, so that's okay." They are handling this amazingly. I, on the other hand, broke down in our driveway and sat down to cry. We live out in the country, so it was a long driveway. I looked at the storm clouds rolling in, got overwhelmed with happiness and grief at the same time, and had to sit and cry it out. My kids understand when I need a moment to myself. I love them for that. We love you, Candace. It makes me, and I don't know if this is wrong to say, but it does make me happy to see you are having moments of grief, moments where you allow yourself to break down, just to let it out, because I feel like there is a certain level of pressure that builds and pretending that things are always okay, and that we don't feel pain, that we aren't experiencing any difficulty. I guess Daddy was hungry. I don't know if it was a hawk or an eagle, but there was a sound being made today outside that was one or the other. And like reading the hawk synchronicity again made my mind run for a second. The wisdom I'm taking from your words right now, Candace, is just the truth of nothing is lost. Nothing is ever lost. Things go away, right? But nothing is lost. Like it's weird. Even though I feel it's a beautiful fact of this reality, it's also something that messes with me sometimes because I'll lose something, right? I'll misplace something and I won't find it. And then it bothers me endlessly because I know it's not lost. It's somewhere on earth right now, but I just don't know where it is because I can't see it in this moment. And it's the same thing with our loved ones that have passed as well. Their physical body, the constituents that made them up, is becoming a part of the world again. Refeeding the soil of this world, recreating more change. Grandma's waving at me. And then there's the spirit realm, right? And then there is the quantum understanding as well. That on a very real level, all of the moments that have ever been exist simultaneously in this moment. Everything, including all of the moments you've spent with your loved ones, right here. I'm off to work, love you friends. My guest for the card is Pink Zano. Have a good day, dear friend. We love you. Have a good day at work. I feel like I'm starting to learn Afrikaans via osmosis. Dit sal nog ons interessante ding wees om te leer. Ient Papa. Is it the Ient? Yeah, Daphne's. Discard. There's specks of pink. There's like a little bit of pink in there. A little pink shadow. But we got Earth Prayers today. I feel like this is the perfect card. Thank you for sharing with us, Candace. I think we all would like to be near you, and this is the closest we can be through your words. I feel we are literally on a weird level in her pocket at all times now, right? And for me, the way I articulate it, in my heart and in my mind. Because you friends do technically exist by the extension of these physical devices for me. But I carry you with me even when I put devices down, right? With me in mind, with me in heart. You friends support me. Holding the world up. Look at that. Look at that. Earth prayers. Our Earth protected by a grid. The Vesica Pisces holding her safe. I feel that the Hawk story so much. My kiddo chases hawks away because they killed Quacky Ducky. Beautiful souls children are, even in tough times. Praying for our Earth, for our children. Earth prayers, card number 4. Stewardship and sustainability. Stewardship and sustainability. I do think of you guys daily and I wish you all the best. We're here with you, guys. We're here with you. Your best wishes are actively influencing us. Thank you. I wish Candace the best. I see one of these. Oh, please, sir, can I? There we go. I'm probably going to butcher it. I did butcher it. So one of these, when I close my eyes, the energy setting your love in Candace. We're here, right here with you, dear friend. Okay, let's read what this card means. Stewardship and sustainability. That is what we're supposed to be going towards after all, right? Embedded in this card is complex geometry. Begins as the flower of life and then transforms into a tetrahedral pattern, forming a protective divine matrix around the planet. From the birth portal, at the center of the Vesica Pisces, our home, Mother Earth, shines in beauty and grace. Many colored hands surround and reside within these patterns, symbolizing participation of all beings in stewardship and sustainability. Stewardship denotes understanding that there is spirit in everything and that everything is connected. It implies awareness that each of our actions, whether it is growing a vegetable, yeah, duck that, yeah, get wrecked, dude, cutting a tree, or using natural resources affects the whole. Even our thoughts have this power. Being stewards of the earth doesn't mean living without abundance or placing judgment on the actions of others or ourselves. It does mean living with a sense of connectedness and a relationship with all beings and respect for our earth. Is there a bug on me right now? Oh, there's a tick, there's a flea on me. Oh man, this sucks. Oh, I'm getting schooled right now. Because technically, this is a being, right? But this being wants to wreck my body. I'm sorry, dude. Look at him. Don't look at my face. Let's honor this little tick. Or flea, technically. I'm sorry, dude. Okay. It does mean living with a sense of connectedness and a relationship with all beings and respect for the earth. Several indigenous tribes believe we must consider the effects of all of our actions and demonstrate stewardship to the seventh generation. How might your daily actions and decisions be affected as you consider their effects 7 generations into the future? Are you, as you consider this question and feel the tenderness of this time in Earth's story, realize also the power of your prayers and intentions. See and feel the earth as abundant and self sustaining. See and feel humans treading lightly upon her land and making decisions that will defend rather than wound the earth. How can you more fully live with an attitude of stewardship? What a card. Let's not honor the flea. So many more beings worthy of honor. I honored that flea still, right? Unfortunately, I like continuing to read. I do feel that killing that flea was beneficial to the 7 generations that come after me. Because I got bitten by something recently. And it might be a flea or a mosquito. It was probably a spider. But it had like a whole effect where it like swole up. I was like, oh golly, that does not look good. Unfortunately, my immune system was like, the hell you doing inside our being? Pew 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 pew. Thank you, immune system. It's very nice of you, little T cells. I feel that Hawk story. Love you again. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you for sharing this moment, for taking some of your time, for not supposing yourself to be anywhere else, and for being where I supposedly believe you should be. Or where I supposedly want you to be. Here, now, right? And the joke is, you'll be here and now, even when the stream ends. Love you, dear friends. Have the most beautifulest day. Everyone, I, for seriously, love you all so super, so very super, gigantically, massively, dearly. Melt, Supremo, and all of you wonderfully amazing and gorgeous friends. Thank you, immune system, for taking care of our dear Melt. Thank you, Joy V, for taking care of me too. All of you friends, I love you, and I'll see you again soon tomorrow. Until then, pew!